Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show.
A new show. We're doing side saddle maneuvers in this show. But part of the maneuvers are just kind of a review and maybe a step in the upward direction of negotiating a couple of these obstacles. What is Eve looking at? I see she's looking at that deer. One of the reasons we're going to move to the arena for this is that there aren't a bunch of deer hanging out on the creek bank and other predators like bobcats and coyotes. Eve is real sensitive about this. As a matter of fact, if you wanted to categorize Eve in the Pirelli categorization of extrovert, introvert, and right brain, left brain, in my opinion, knowing Eve the way I do, she is a right-brained introvert. Study Pirelli if you want to know what I mean. What we want to do with each of our horses and our horsenalities is center them. Make them so we can trust them under any circumstances. You see, she's seeing the deer. The deer are moving. I think they're going towards the creek, which is a slope down. So I think we're okay for today without shooing them away. We like to coexist with them. So today we're going to do the big steps again. And we've turned the cavalettis one rung higher. I'm going to try to stay centered. Centered, a very important word in the saddle. Now, you know, I've done cattle cutting with my stallion over the decades, and I watch cattle cutting all the time and on RFD TV. It's almost amazing that the riders on a good cutting horse can stay in the saddle. You, of course, cannot use your reins. The reins have to go down on the neck. But cutting saddles have a long, narrow horn so that you can hold on to that horn and push against it to keep yourself centered. And once you stay in the center, the horse you go with the horse. But if you get off center, you go where you maybe don't want to go. And I'm finding that that concept of being centered in the saddle has become very important to me. And I don't have a cutting horn here, but I do have, especially this top horn, that my right leg cradles around. I'm going to try to use it to push against if I feel like I'm going forward or I'm going to end up being catapulted over her head or to the right. Now to the left, I try to use my stirrup to put some weight in the ball of my foot to help me stay centered. So I am going to, even when she changes her feet like that, it feels weird if you're not centered.
Yeah.
Okay, and Angela, she pretty much is motivated to learn this while she's still here, only a few more weeks, and then she's off to grad school. But usually if things go well for me, she likes to get up on it, so we do a postscript. So we'll see if today she's going to want to get up on it, on Eve. Okay, so now my plan is to go around that tree and step over the short step. And then I'm going to somehow, depending upon how she's behaving, get back, go around that tree and step onto the tall step and down. And that's when I really think I might have to push against this horn because that tall step is pretty tall. Even going from east to west and west to east, it's not quite as tall as going from south to north, but I don't know that I even want to try the south to north yet. I may want to try that later when I've learned to gain confidence in doing maneuvers with Eve, and that will do in the arena and on the track, far away from this creek bank that is a haven for predators. Step up. Angela's going to join up with me. I'm trying to kind of, you know, I don't want stiffness in my back. Over the short step, looking where I'm going. Just for practice, picked up my hand, good. Now I'm going to go around. My cameraman may not be able to follow me. I'm going to go around, come through the L. Looking where I'm going. being really light, but I am holding the reins in 2 hands. Trying to get centered, trying to feel really in tune with my horse. And here's the challenge. And I do the same thing, but on the big step. Oh, yes. Pushing. Here's the challenge. Yes. I pulled back a little bit on the reins, which I don't want to do. It was because I was not confident. I didn't trust my horse. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to try to trust her this time. Push a little bit, so that means I put the reins in my right hand. Push a little bit so I feel like I can stay centered. Much better. Now I'm going to the cavalettis. They're a little bit higher, but Eve usually is good about lifting her legs, taking responsibility for lifting her legs, looking ahead, giving her her head. Beautiful. Go to her parking position. Ooh. Okay, now wait, I do want, before you attach, her hip is a little bit over. Let's see if, over. That's it. Yes, she's learning how to parallel park for us very nicely. Put me in position to get off the side saddle. I always very gently sit into the seat and very gently get off. I trust that Eve will not dance around here. It's not to say that any other horse would be so willing to be so patient, but I know Firecrest Easter Eve, and she and I are learning the side saddle. She just did a beautiful sigh. And let me tell you that the maneuvers that I intend to work on in the arena, she knows them all. And I don't think that I'm going to be teaching her anything. What I'm going to be doing when I do the rest of the show is teach myself how to stay centered in the side saddle, which in fact means that my right sits bone has to be over to the right ever so slightly. It's a little bit different feeling, a little bit different position, but the concept of staying in the center of your horse's balance is what's important here. And we're going to show you how we proceed to do maneuvers inside saddle. Good. All right, postscript, Angela did decide to do it. She's going to take a slightly different path. I gave her some guidance as to how I felt up there. Eve did not speed up. Had she sped up going up or down the big step or even the little step, we would have bumped a little bit. Eve is real responsive to bumping with our reins before she starts to speed up, and then she won't speed up. But it wasn't a problem. But if Angela feels like it's a problem, because last time Angela rode Eve, Angela felt it was a bit of a problem on the cavalettis, and of course this time the cavalettis are one rung up. So it wasn't a problem for me, but if you feel it, bump up. Not pull, pull, bump up. Okay, Angela. Oh, you've got Kyle as a join up.
Step up. Step up.
Look forward. You're looking at her ears. Look where you want to go. They can feel that. Don't forget, a horse can feel a mosquito landing on its fur. Look, yeah, look forward, forward. Anticipate. You feel that?
Yeah. Good girl.
Good.
Nice.
Didn't that feel good?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now take any path you want and go to the cavalettis. I'd kind of like you to do the cavalettis in the other direction, so can you go around them and come back?
Yep.
We like to do everything in both directions. Everything we do with our horses, both directions, both sides. Good, good, Angela. Good looking where you want to go. Good bumping. Look beyond, look beyond. Beautiful.
Very nice.
Okay, as a, to finish up, how about doing the short step here from that direction? And if you feel her speeding up, a bump, bump.
Very good.
Could you do that again? Somehow I don't think I got it on the camera.
Okay.
Do it again. There we go, there she is. It was done perfectly, by the way. There you go.
Very good.
Isn't that great? Doesn't that feel great? Okay, let's see if you can parallel Parker.
Steady. Oh. Oh.
A little bit
Back.
over. Now, you have to decide, do you want her to
Back.
scooch over small steps, or do you
Back.
want to go back out and come back
Back.
in? And don't we do that with the cars all the time?
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Back.
Look beyond her ears when you're asking. There, she's saying, oh, I think you
Very
want me
good.
close to this
Easy.
thing. Do you
Good.
feel you're close enough with the hips?
Yep, it's
Yeah,
very
okay, Angela is a little bit more nimble with her legs,
Good.
as she doesn't need a hip replacement, but I do, and I am getting it in a couple of weeks. This is a new show, so I don't know if you've watched prior shows, but I hope to be back in not only astride saddles, but this side saddle doing cow work on the next few months, and that was wonderful. Angela, tell us how you felt.
It felt good both ways, and over the Cavalettis, she was very good.
Okay.
She sped up going down a little bit, but maybe it was just like the gravity of.
When she sped up, did you bump up?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. All right. We feel like we've done enough side saddle work here in the obstacles area to move on to the arena for further work with maneuvers, especially so that we can use some of our mechanical cows to give Eve something moving to follow. And then we'll be able to feel better in the side saddle how you can stay centered, even when Eve is using her haunches much more than you've seen her use them here. And then our ultimate objective, once we feel totally confident that we've got it figured out, we're going to come back here and take the big steps from south to north, which after doing it from east to west, I'd say it's about a 2 or 3 inch higher step up and step down. I'm actually confident that we can do it, but I'd rather wait until we're totally comfortable. We have to get comfortable on Eve, because I think she's totally comfortable with her side saddle. Maneuvering in the side saddle. We're going to dive right in today very, very carefully. We've got Susie and Sela, my Zebu heifers, on lead lines. Rusty's right outside the gate. That's my bull. Here's Eve, practically asleep, with her side saddle on. Here's our mounting block that we keep in this arena. I'm going to get up into the side saddle, and then I'm going to walk around the arena this way, away from Rusty. And he may even move on this side, in which case I'll walk around in the arena. I don't want Eve to get disturbed by Rusty. So, because he can roar, he can do predatorial-like movements that a horse can interpret incorrectly. A horse is much bigger than a bull, right? A horse should be able to control a bull, but from my experience, that is not necessarily the case. So, I don't want Eve to get upset. He's coming this way, he's roaring, she's looking. Watch her body language. I might need your shoulder. Now recall that I have a bad hip. I'm doing side saddle, not only because of that, but because I think it's very nice to be able to ride in a side saddle, and I'm learning how to do it. Pretty much Eve is okay on it. She's just a little bit confused by the fact that there's no leg over there. Whoa. With water.
No.
You see the difference? Yeah. This barrel is not filled with water, so you have to be careful. Okay, here I go. Angela helps me with my stirrup because my left leg doesn't lift nicely. I've got my reins in my hand. What kind of maneuvers do you do when you do cow work? A lot of over the haunches. And we were able to get Eve to go G and ha, right and left over her haunches in our square, in our obstacles area. And then we were able to get her to go over the cavalettis on the second rung up, so she watched where her feet were. we couldn't do anything very quickly back there, and today we're not going to do anything very quickly, but eventually, I believe, and I hope I'll be able to show you that you're going to be able to do things quickly, required for proper cow work, raiding, cutting, even roping in a side saddle. Pretty much up to me to keep my body weight centered and to give her enough practice with this simulated leg in my right hand. That's what this is. It's going to be the cue that I've got to use on her right side because I don't have a leg over there. This is a side saddle, not an astride saddle. Step up, Eve. Step up, ha. Looking over her ears or in the direction I'm going, keeping a very light and soft on the reins. I am direct reining if I need it. Ha! Got to keep my right sits bone on the right side of the saddle. Whoop! Whoop! He's roaring. I wonder if you can hear him. I'm going to ask her to back. I want to get her focused. Look over her ears, back. Kind of tuck my butt, back. Sit on my pockets. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to do something here, Angela. Even though the cows are over there and Rusty's over there, I'm in this wide open area here in my arena. I'm going to see if I can get Eve to haw over her haunches. A little bit of direct rein. Look where I'm going. Keep my right rein to tell her not to go forward. Whoa. Nice, right? Very nice. Okay. Rusty is now by the gate, the side gate, which is where the cows are. But he's grazing. Okay, he's not doing a lot of predatorial things. Angela, you kind of step in front. I'm going to see if I can get her to G. She misunderstood. She saw you go. You see, she's following Angela as a join up. G. Little bit of tugging, back. Tuck my butt. That's it. That's it. That's what I wanted to do, right here where the cows are. Now, I'm going to walk towards the cows. And they're on a lead line. Eventually, we're going to just have them in the arena, maybe in the half arena, because we do have portable panels on wheels that we can cut this arena very easily in half. But for now, to keep things simple, just as an introduction of maneuvering here in my uncovered arena when the cows are here, I'm showing you what I'm feeling comfortable doing at this time. Okay, now I'm going to kind of walk towards Susie and Sela. They're chewing their cud. They're real quiet. I don't think they're going to get riled. And I'm not going to go real close. I'm just going to look at them, give Eve her head, step up, cluck. Whoop. I want a much faster whoa than that. I'm going to ask her to back, tuck my butt, back, 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 back. Very nice, Eve. Close enough. Now remember though, this barrel has no water in it. It's all right. Got to get her hip over. I'm going to try to use my arm extension. And you keep her from going forward, and I'll keep her from going over, over. Good. Good. That's a parallel park. I've done what I wanted to do for this first session in my uncovered arena with my cows. Now what's next? Ooh, a lot of haunches work, a lot of following a moving object work. Not with the cows, because I have a lot of cow simulators I use here and in my square pen. And so we're going to get Eve to be more comfortable following a moving object, swinging over her haunches, picking up a trot. It'll be a while before we can do it in a canter with Eve because she has a fast canter, almost a gallop. Well, we're going to do that. We're going to do maneuvers, cow work maneuvers inside saddle, and show you how we progress. And I'm going to have fun doing it. I hope you'll have fun watching it. Today, we've got Rusty safely 2 fences away. That's my bull. He was a little bit distracting in our last session here in the uncovered arena where we're trying to do some maneuvers with Eve in the side saddle. I've got the usual tack on, but I'm bringing something out. Can you hand me that? That I'm going to show you I'm going to aim for. We've done several shows on using a neck ring so that you don't have to use a bit and a bridle. And I saw this morning on YouTube a short video of I think it was a Morgan horse doing Western dressage with just a net ring and a Western saddle. Well, it was beautiful. And I thought to myself, this isn't a Western saddle, but it's kind of like a Western saddle. I intend to do Western kinds of ranch horse versatility activities in it. So I think I'm going to make my ultimate goal, if I can keep riding side saddle, if I have no gotchas after my surgery, I'm going to make my ultimate goal to be able to come out here in this side saddle, work my cows, step over my cavalettis, do some haunches work with a neck ring, and maybe do some leg yieldings and half passes. Those are dressage movements in a side saddle with a neck ring, because the video I saw this morning, it was in a Western saddle and a neck ring, and the horse was completely responsive to the rider's balance and other cues, and you couldn't really see the other cues, and that's what's beautiful about dressage. It does turn out that Western dressage really is just another name for cowboy dressage, which has been around for a long time, the founder being Eitan Beth Halkamy, and he is here in California and has been doing classical dressage with a Western saddle for a long time, calling it cowboy dressage. Can I walk around now? I just want to do it without worrying about Rusty. Can I walk around? And Angela's just going to hang out with me. I got to keep my balance, then I know I'm solid, centered in this saddle. I'm using my left leg as a little bit of a impulsion cue. I have my dressage whip. It's a little bit windy. Now I am going to aim for Susie, my elderly heifer, the mother, because she doesn't move as fast as Seela. Whoa. Here is Susie. She's got a green fly mask on. Seela has a purple fly mask on. I don't expect Susie to move fast. Seela can really be a challenge for haunches work, and I'm not ready for that. But let me see. Angela, why don't you go up towards the fence, just in case Seela starts running past here and Eve gets really nifty over her haunches. I don't want that. Can you go over here? Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to walk up to, and Eve, look at her body language. She sees Rusty 2 fences away. I'll tell you what, Angela, walk towards Susie's hip. See if you can get Susie. I'm going to back up. Good, good. See if you can get Susie to walk away from the corner. If you walk towards her hip, once she starts moving, let her move.
Susie.
Touch her at the hip. There you go. Okay, a little more. Eve is watching. Let's see if you can get her past the cavaletti. Good. Now I'm going to say, can you rate that mama cow? Let's see. Whoa, we're in a side saddle. We've got an O-ring snaffle on. Eve's job is going to be to move along with the mama heifer, and maybe, that's okay, you can let Seela go past. Uh-oh, she's a little bit worried about that. Yeah, move it out. The cavaletti was a little bit too close to the fence. Okay, so Seela wants to be with her mom. She even made her mom move. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can walk up to the hip. Come on a little closer in case I have problems. I'm being real light, sitting back on my pockets when I want her to slow down and back up. Okay, see if you can move her now. And when she does move, I'm going to try to move with her. Whoa. You see, Seela? I hope you saw that. Seela is a real challenge to my horses in their astride saddles. I'm just not ready for Seela in the side saddle, not yet. Okay, now move Susie out a little bit. I'm going to try to go parallel with her. I'm going to try to get Eve to go over the haunches quietly. Good. Whoop. Sit on my pockets, get her to back. Good. Seela's behind us, that's all right. Okay, now let's go along with Sue's. Now she's picking up speed. Rusty's roaring. It's okay, we're just rating, we're just following. Whoop. We're just gonna wait now. Let the heifers settle in. That's all I wanted to do with the heifers today. And now I'm gonna ask Angela that Cavaletti on its lowest rung, just turn it to the north a couple times. We did this back in the obstacles area. We're going to work on doing Cavaletti step overs and jump overs. As one more, yeah. Out here in the uncovered arena, I'm going to try to walk past the cows. I'm going to tell Evie by subtle cues that no, we're not following the cow now. Sitting centered so I don't feel like I'm being thrown to the left. Looking over her head, asking her to lift her feet, giving her her head, and that was absolutely beautiful. Whoa. So, maneuvers, inside saddle. Can I do all the things I do in a stride saddle? Even though I don't have a right leg here to give her the cues. I think so. And I think I can do all of the things that I did in a stride saddle bridlelessly in a side saddle. But using the neck ring or using the arm extensions and so forth. I have many such shows. If you go to YouTube and look at the playlists that have the word rainless as the search topic, you'll see that I've done a lot of shows in an astride saddle with my Morgans. And I want to be able to do each and every of those activities, which are useful ranch horse versatility activities, in a side saddle. So we're down to the basics. Can we do the maneuvers? Here's a maneuver. I'm going to see if I can go to the right by looking, sitting on my pockets. Whoa, beautiful. And as she stops, I feel like I'm being thrown forward ever so slightly, so I put a little pressure here on this bottom horn. Whoa, that was even more over the haunches than we've done. Let's see if we can do it again. Little leg pressure. Sit back. Whoa. Now I've got my arm extension here, but she's pretty good about feeling me look. Whoa, that's it. Now let's see if we can just park and call that the end of our first session, our first show about side saddle maneuvers here in the uncovered arena. I'm looking where I want her to park. Whoa. And we did fill this barrel with about 1/8 of it water. You can leave that there. 1/8 of it water, and it seems to be enough, yeah, to make it stable. We don't have to hold on to it, which was the first thing we noticed last session. I've done exactly what I wanted it to do in a short session today. I love my heifers. My arena is big enough. My tools are great. And all I got to make sure is that my body stays sound enough to do side saddle maneuvers.
See more at www.urbancowgirlchannel.com.